Happy New Year! I thought you were gonna cut me off. Hello film dudes and dudettes, it's Nick here. Happy 2017, 1st of Jan 2017 to be precise, 2017. That makes me feel so old. I hope you had a good night whatever you got up to. New Year's are often the time when people start some kind of new habit or try something. It's called a New Year's resolution. Have you heard of it? But whilst it's all good and well to have some goals for the new year, in fact I think it is an important thing to set yourself some personal goals, it's also important to kind of think back on a personal level and think about the year that's just gone. 2016 for I Be a Film Dude, I think was a good year. It was the year that I kind of put focus back into actually creating stuff for the channel, which has been great fun, very challenging, and I've learned a heap of stuffs to help make better films. And that's kind of the point I wanted to kind of share with you today, rather than show you what I've been up to the last couple of weeks, because it's been holidaying and I've just been trying to take time with the family and enjoy myself and have been leaving the camera behind. So I didn't want to really do vloggy kind of stuff. I just wanted to take a break from that, but I wanted to start the year strong. So here are my top 5 things that I learned probably from my efforts as a filmmaker in 2016 to help hopefully make some better films in 2017. Here we go. Okay, number 1, preparation. Now, in fact, probably most of these points are going to sound pretty obvious, but you kind of don't know what you don't know, if that makes any sense. At the start of the year, the biggest film I made this year was called The Cure, and it involved the largest ensemble cast and largest crew I'd ever actually worked with. And I think one of the biggest reflections I have for that is the fact that I approached it like I do with every kind of short I make, and that's really with the no budget, just be really quick and get it done mentality. And what that translated to in a bigger production like The Cure was it probably made it it probably meant that the film narratively wasn't as good as it probably could have been, I think, with some more preparation. What do I mean by that? I think one of the big things I would have liked to have done if I had my time again is spend more time in pre-production, actually shooting everything before we actually start filming, so we can actually block out perfect moves with actors, so we could I could really determine how to film certain action sequences and the kind of the stunty aspects of the film, because it meant on the day, without that preparation, without that kind of pre-thought, it was harder to pull off, and that put a lot of pressure on myself. It put a lot of pressure on the cast and crew, and it definitely delayed the shoot. It definitely made me make decisions that probably weren't in the best interest for the film and for the story. So preparation is key. Obvious one, but it is absolutely key. Number 2, a common theme in my videos, but I need to get to the point more. As you may be able to tell, I ramble a lot. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about before I start talking, and that's obviously not great when it comes to storytelling. You want to get to the point quickly. Just to use The Cure as a perfect example again, you've got a 10-minute film in which the first couple of minutes really are trying to set the scene, trying to set the story and the world that the characters inhabit, but it didn't set the main kind of conflict and challenge for these characters. It didn't set that up as quickly as I would have kind of liked or ideally hoped for. So by getting to the point quicker, you can really hook in your audience just that much more and make sure that they're actually adhering and sticking to the end of your film. So definitely get to the point. That's for me, Nick. Get to the point quicker. Number 3 is kind of an obvious one, but if you're not thinking about it, if you're not actively actually considering it, it's easy to forget. But number 3 is production values don't matter. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mean I'm going to make some crappy looking and sounding films. I mean, I probably will, if I'm honest, on the ones that just involve me. But audiences and your viewers will kind of forgive crappy production values as long as it doesn't get in the way of story. So what do I mean by that? If your story's compelling enough, people will actually forgive not great lighting or not great cinematography. I mean, a case in point is my Halloween short I made. We made that in, 3 of us, we made that in 24 hours, like literally filmed and edited and produced within 24 hours, and that was a massive challenge, and because of that, it's nowhere near a perfect film, but actually the people I showed it to, they enjoyed it, and hopefully they enjoyed it a lot, and that it was okay that the audio wasn't great, or there was some echo in the room, or some unwanted noises and shots that weren't supposed to kind of be in there. It's actually okay as long as you're focusing on story. Number 4, movement. Movement is key. Movement can cover up mistakes that you make, but it also can cover up, I guess, nods to the fact that you're not making a multi-million-dollar film. What do I mean by that? I think by having your camera move, by having your characters move in a motivated way, you can actually draw attention away from things that might otherwise take audiences out of your story because they aren't so great. Case in point, in The Cure. The Cure, we had a little whisk and beater as a kitchen whisk, I think it's called, that one of the characters thinks they can kind of attack one of the infected people with, and on the day, for safety, I mean, we couldn't have a rotating metal whisk go into the corner of Jack's cheek, as much as he would have been okay with that, I'm sure. So we had to kind of film it static, and then I had to go through frame by frame and essentially animate it and look like it was spinning. And let me tell you, if that was moving any slower, it would be hard to pull that off, and therefore pull you out of the story. So look for movements, look for elements that you can actually hide with movement to not necessarily draw attention to the fact that you're making a no-budget film. Number 5, my 5th kind of major learning is really determine your promotion path, I guess, for your film. The Cure was such a massive effort. It took, calendar-wise, it took over a year to make because of its scale and because of those great production values we had and trying to make it the best film it could be. But there was a point where I wanted to get it out. It had been in my head for so long that I just wanted to get it done and get it out there because it is a short film at the end of the day, and I wanted to move on to the next short film concept. What I ideally would have done is had a better kind of promotion path, so that we also had some merchandise. We were just testing the idea of merchandising, the concept around The Cure, and we had some t-shirts and apparel for sale and things like that, and really it wasn't done very effectively because we launched The Cure, and then way after the fact we had the t-shirts ready and things like that, or rather that I had the t-shirts ready. I was very slow on that. That certainly impacted the success of that kind of strategy, and it also feeds into how you get your film out there. You need to really think before you even just hit publish. I've learned that you can't post a video on YouTube or online and expect people to come to it. I mean, look at some of the views on some of my other short films. The Cure's doing okay, but some of the other films I put on there attract very few views at the moment, and that's completely okay because I'm obviously building the channel up. But by leveraging the people involved in a film, the people who are already fans of yours, your friends, your family, the people who like you on social media, by actually engaging them and getting their help in sharing your content, you can make sure that the promotion of your little short, your web series, your feature, whatever it is you're doing, just gets that much more ability to be seen by more people. And that's, of course, what we want as filmmakers. So there we go, my rambly 5 learnings of mine I learned in 2016 to become a better filmmaker in 2017. What about you? What have you learned in 2016 that you're going to apply in 2017? Doesn't have to be filmmaking related, of course. Let me know in the comments below. I'd be really interested to hear what you guys have got planned for this year. Happy New Year again. Thanks for following along, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.